Visit sportsbookreview.com to learn more about BetOnline and its A-plus rated platform on the link below. It's Thursday. It's Super Bowl week. And what does that mean? That means it's time for Prop Shop. Let's talk Super Bowl props, and let's do it in an intelligent way. All right, let's start. Because there's so much bad info out there about props and how wise guys bet props. Okay, I will tell you exactly how wise guys bet props. It's real simple. There's no Don Best screen for props. You're not seeing live odds at every sports book for every prop all in one place. What does that mean? That means that there is always variance from one sports book to the next. They're going to word the prop slightly differently. They're going to have different yardage numbers. They're going to have different juice numbers. What are wise guys doing? All they're doing is taking advantage of this variance. They're running around all week picking off-market numbers. It's a positive expectation strategy, no question, despite the fact that they're always laying minus prices, not taking plus prices. It's the Joes who are always trying to bet a little to win a lot. The pros are very happy Super Bowl week to bet a lot to win a little, but it's all about due diligence, running around, being familiar with the markets, and finding off-market numbers, picking them off one at a time. Look, it's a time-consuming strategy. You can do it online. You can do it here in Las Vegas. It's not easy to do. Certainly not for someone that's not doing it full-time. Literally, I know guys that have been running around all week. Just they go from one book to the next, 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 and all around town, and they do it again the next day, and it's just what lines have moved, what prices have moved. That's the way they're trying to beat the prop market. I'm confident that most of you out there, A, don't have the time, B, don't have the inclination. It's not about getting 10 cents of value here and 5 cents of value there. Look, people want, so my suggestion is don't try to be a wise guy here. Find some props you like, bet them small, have fun with this. All right. And I'm going to talk props here, but let me make it very clear. There are props that you may have a positive expectation on. There are props that you have no chance to have a positive expectation on. I have no insight on how long the national anthem is going to be. I have no insight on what color Bill Belichick's hoodie is going to be, or whether the player to score the last touchdown will be wearing an odd or even numbered jersey. You want to look at the coin flip? Knock yourself out, bet the coin flip, even at reduced juiced. Guess what? It's still a coin flip. Do not be foolish and bet way too much on this stuff, especially if you're not beating market prices. That being said, sure, I got some prop recommendations. There's fun stuff to talk about. This is one I've been talking about all week, LeGarrette Blount. I like LeGarrette Blount under. Doesn't matter what you want to bet him under. I bet him under, so you can find 7.5 rushing attempts. You can bet him under in rushing yards. You can bet him under in longest rush. Look, LeGarrette Blount has fallen out of favor in the postseason. This is the guy who led the Eagles in rushing yards during the regular season. But here, 2 cold weather games where the Eagles were playing with a lead, ideal circumstances for his style, just 15 carries and 40 yards in those 2 postseason games. We've seen a ton of money come in on Corey Clement over. And we're seeing a ton of money come in on LeGarrette Blount under. Again, for Blount to get playing time, Philly's got to be playing with the lead. There's correlation here. If you like Philly, you like Blount more. I'm not a fan of Philly in this game. I'm betting Blount under. Rushing attempts, rushing yards, longest rush. What's the other end of the equation? Well, Danny Amendola, man. Amendola. And then the other guy. What we're looking for here, what I'm looking for guys whose season-long stats do not reflect what I expect to see from them in the Super Bowl. Certainly, Blount was a Patriots leading rusher. Amendola for the season, sure, 61 catches, 659 yards, 2 touchdowns. Solid numbers, not spectacular numbers. But how many times have we seen in recent years Tom Brady looking for Amendola at big times in big games? 18 catches for 196 yards in 2 previous playoff games. 8 catches for 78 yards in the Super Bowl last year. He's lined at 4.5 and over 52. Brady looks for this guy. I like Amendola over. Nick Foles. I want to bet some Foles under. I found a great piece from a Bill Barnwell's article on ESPN.com talking about 7 instances since 2001 of a quarterback posting a passer rating better than Nick Foles' 141.4 last week, or a week and a half ago. And he also went on to talk about 10 quarterbacks that were just behind him with an average pass rating of 137.1. So we're talking about QBs that have had elite numbers in a playoff game. Those quarterbacks combined did not do particularly good the following week. The ones who were ahead of Foles, average passer rating of 82.6. The ones who were below Foles, average passer rating of 61.9. Not a single player in that group topped 100. You can find ways to bet against Nick Foles in this one, whether it's number of completions, yards, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not a Nick Foles fan for this Super Bowl. You look at some of the general props, and this is one we like to talk about every year. Will there be 3 straight scores for either team? And it sounds boring, and it's one of these props. Yeah, whatever. No, it's going to be a close game. Well, the S is minus 180. And in fact, if you wait till game day, you'll probably get cheaper. It's cashed at a 70% clip since Super Bowl I. Last year's game, as tight as it gets, an overtime thriller. Well, the 3 straight scores prop won before halftime. It's won 5 times in the last 6 years. The only exception came, by the way, in the lowest scoring Super Bowl of the last decade. You're betting on momentum swings here. 3 straight scores. We see it all the time in the NFL. You're laying less than 2-1. I think that one's cheap. Total number of different players have a pass attempt. This is a great one. Okay. You talk about this is the type of bet that I call free money. And it's not really free money. There's a risk here. All right. You'd have to lay $2, minus $2. But total number of different players have a pass attempt under 2.5. What does that mean? That means I expect only 2 players to throw a pass in this game. Tom Brady. Yeah, there he is right there. Nick Foles. That's it. Nobody other than a quarterback has thrown a pass for either team all year. This is not trick play time for Philly or New England. I'm not expecting either coaching staff to break out some crazy play here and have their non-QBs throwing the football. The only way I lose this is a QB injury. And we could have a QB injury, something like that. But if someone even comes in for a kneel down at the end, doesn't matter. They have to throw a pass attempt. I got the underpass, 2.5, minus 200 in my pocket. I think that's, again, it's not stealing, but it's $2. That's probably should be priced more like minus 3, minus 4 in that range. How about one last one? Let's do Eagles to have the longest kick return. Talk about that. And this is the type of analysis that you need to be doing if you're expecting to win and beat the prop market regularly. Okay, so Philly, they're minus 130 to have the longest kick return. But what's the Eagles' tendency? Their tendency is to kick in the end zone for touchbacks. You see, the first kick, minus 240 to be a touchback for Philadelphia. That's what they do. New England, on the other hand, has instructed and trained Stephen Gostkowski to place his kicks inside the 5-yard line. That ensures a return. One team's going to be getting touchbacks. The other team's going to be returning kicks. And throw in the fact that we can expect more kickoffs from the favorite and more returns from the underdog Eagle. Minus 130 to me is cheap in that one. Let's talk about some cross sports props for a moment, because that's one that I think is worth talking about for sure. I like Damian Lillard. I like I like Kyrie Irving in his matchup on Sunday against Damian Lillard. I've seen some cross sports props with Irving in them. Irving against the Eagles, Irving points versus Eagles points, that sort of thing. That's one that I would definitely be interested in. That's a good matchup for Kyrie, and Kyrie's been on fire. More than 30 points a game in his last 5. And if he doesn't play, he sat last night, obviously. If he doesn't play, no action. So the only thing you have to worry about is if he plays and only lasts 5 minutes. I'm expecting a big game on Sunday from Kyrie against Lillard. That's one I would pay attention to. And how about this one? I saw one out there that was definitely worth talking about real quick. All I have to do is find it now. Obviously. Oh, yeah. I got Super Bowl points over Trae Young. Assists, points, and rebounds. That's one at the Westgate. I'm sure if you here in Vegas, if you shop around all offshore, you can find these cross sport props, and I'm sure the Oklahoma point guard is going to be on some of them. I'm neutral on the total, but I don't like the matchup for Trae Young against Texas. And Shaka Smart, a master at alternating game plans to try to take away what the opposition does best. I don't think Trae Young is going to have a good matchup in this ballgame. Therefore, Super Bowl points versus Trae Young assists, points, rebounds. Yeah. That's one I will look at. The cross sports props, really interesting to consider. All right, no more warnings. You guys know what to do. Please, please, for the love of God, be smart about this. Bet with your head. Don't bet over your head. And if you're having a problem this week, if ever there's a week that people have problems, Super Bowl week is one of those weeks, I encourage you, get some help. Go to GA. Call the Gambling Anonymous hotline. Do what you need to do if you're struggling to control yourself during a time of year where it's difficult to do so. That being said, hopefully you're not in that mode, and hopefully you're going to enjoy the game this weekend and make some money betting these props. I expect to. Hope you will too. Back tomorrow on Friday, weekend preview edition, right here on Sportsbet. Betting Insight today from SBRpicks.com. Please give us a like, give us a follow, give us a retweet, give us some love, baby. Cheers. Good luck. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.